This is just a random, thought that I was just thinking about. When it comes to double standards, right? Isn't it ironic? Because, a lot of women, they get upset about double standards and they always claim, like, men feel like they're just mightier than thou and so on, whatever. Or whatever, these particular females be, like, ranting about. But when I think about it, when it comes to double standards, when men have double standards or they speak about double standards, it's really more of hearsay. It's like, oh, this is what men believe and this is what women believe, and that's just that. Women are more emotional, so like, they'll try to argue men down, like, about what the hearsay is and like how they feel, but they're entitled to their own opinions. But when it comes to double standard in regards to the female population, I think we winning. I think females is winning when it comes to double standards, because like a man can have double standards and they double standards to the female opinion, like even if it's logical to them, it's like the first thing a woman does is get upset because it's just like, oh my gosh, that doesn't make sense, or you're not thinking about this and that. But when a woman has a double standard, like, we actually have free will and choice when it comes to our double standards. Men don't have free will with their double standards. They just be doing what they think is logical. Women, when we have double standards, is based on like action. Just something to think about. Hold on, because I might be onto something. Because I'm thinking about this double standard thing, right? I was saying like men are more logical with their thinking when it comes to the double standard, while women have free will and a possibility of a choice. But hear me out. Men are more logical in the aspect of like, this is my whole thing with the double standard. A man will have a double standard. Really, it's not really a double standard. Double standards for men is just a logical thought. They just almost born that way, where they just believe a man is a man and this is what men do and this is how men think, and they coming from a logical aspect or way of thinking, right? Then when women have a double standard, whether it's placed upon them or not, it's free will, free choice, because at like men, the double standard is generalized. They don't even think it's like a double standard. They just like, this is how it is. But with women, when it comes to double standard, all women are not held to the double standard because of the free will, free choice thing. So it's like you either want to partake in the double standard or you don't. But we're all generalized by the double standard. And with men, they're more logical with their thinking. But at the same time, the double standard isn't a double standard for them. Like, it's like a way of life. So when men have a double standard or are perceived of having double standards, it's like a day-to-day thing. It's like, it's not like a long-term thinking process. Like women will say a man has a double standard and give petitions, give reasoning long term why if you do one thing or you act some type of way, why long term, like why, like how, why, what would happen, this and the third. And men is just like, this is just how men think. This is just how men act. But because women are coming from an emotional standpoint, reference, context, using their intuitive abilities, when women are talking about double standards to men, they're really actually, they coming from a place of like, they care. Men are like, oh, like, it's not that they don't care. This is just how, like, I ain't, like, excuse my language, but it's just like, this is how my DICK thinks. Honestly. It's not, if you even really thinking logical, it's really them saying, this is how my DICK thinks. Point blank period. This is just how men are. But when women are coming from a double standard, they be thinking long term, short term, the like the cause and effect, long term, how like if you want this type of situation to happen, then you shouldn't do this or you should do this. This is like interesting. Women get to decide whether or not they want to be a double standard, partake in double standard, while men don't have that luxury. They're just saying that's just who they are. And it's ironic because when double standards come to play, women get really emotional about it because they feel as though men is not thinking long term about their decisions. But then women, if they choose to partake in double standards or not, they really understand their position in life, who they are, if it will not affect them positively or negatively. This is interesting. Somebody need to write a book about this.